life is short. And Buddha realized this. He's like, okay, wait a minute. Like, this is inevitable. Like, I'm going to get old. I'm probably going to get sick. If I don't get sick, someone I know is going to get sick. I'm going to die. These things cause pain. These things cause suffering. Like, you know, that's not good. I want to figure life out because this is coming. And so he realized, I don't want to miss out on a full life of freedom. And there's two ways that we can apply this that I can think of. Number one, life is short. And so we should desire to figure this life thing out. How come people are not happy? How come people are emotionally suffering? How come people are depressed? How come so-and-so has an anger problem? How come I have this problem? We should want to figure it out. Buddha was somebody like this. He was like, wait a minute, I want to figure this stuff out because life is short. Anything can happen tomorrow. I don't want to miss out. If there's something out there called freedom and happiness and contentment and peace and joy and fulfillment, I want this. What's going on here? So many of us are living our lives just like que sera, sera, and oh, you know, whatever. No, we don't have to get all bent out of shape with like a stick up our ass, but we should like think about this, like, wait a minute. And the other way to look at it is this. Why does it hurt us to go through old age, to get sick, to face death? We don't want to do that. But why? Why does that? It's inevitable. It's the way life is, so it must be in some perspective okay, because this is what happens. So but why does it cause us to suffer? Why do we fight it? What is inside of us that makes us fear these things, sickness, old age, death? How come if those things were to happen to us, we might throw an adult tantrum? Why does that make us suffer? And is there a way to see these things where we don't suffer? And the answer is yes. But Buddha, we're going through his story. He wanted to figure that out. The good news for us is that we don't have to do what he did and figure it out. We can go to him and learn from him. And something happened. All the pieces came together, and he woke up, and he became the Buddha that we know. He's just like us. Let's not freak out. He didn't change and transform into something, but he did realize something. And his first words, because after he realized all of these deep things of Buddhism and how to see the world, he just enjoyed it himself for I think it's like 49 days. He was probably quiet the whole time, right? No need to talk. But there's different versions of the story. But one version of the story was that his first words were this: I am awake. I am awake. He's not special. He didn't earn something, but he's awake. He gets it. The filters are off. Those Instagram filters are off, and he sees the world as it is. And on different levels, there's like the existential epic level. There's just like the relative level of how to see things. But that is what happened to him in his journey. He woke up and he sees things as they are. Because again, this is not just about Buddha's story, it's about your story. And I think people have questions about like, well, can I be enlightened, or how does that work? Or, and some people are like, no, he's Buddha, you can't be enlightened. And other people, are like, no, like in this lifetime, we can accomplish this. Like in Tibetan Buddhism, like I follow the Nyingma school. Probably said that wrong, but they encourage you, like, no, you can be enlightened. Like, here's what you can do, and they're very joyful, and I really resonate with that group. So here's how I want to explain it, okay? Because I want to be So in your journey of meditation and hearing the Dharma and connecting with people who are on the same journey, yes, there will be a moment where you realize what this Buddhist stuff is all about, okay? It doesn't mean you're enlightened, but it does mean you had an enlightened moment. And it could be a moment, and there's different levels. Like I've had multiple. I've had gradual moments. I have sudden moments, big, little, in between. But you will have your moment where you're like, oh my God, I get it. And you're never the same again. But that doesn't mean you're a Buddha yet. Because now that you have this truth, or you got the glasses on, you have to you have to maintain your meditative stance. You have to maintain your awareness, which is easy to do, by the way, but you have to maintain it to keep the glasses on. Because what happens is we're so used to living without the glasses. So for me, 31 years, right? That it's my habit for me to go back to the old way of seeing things again. And so I have to revisit my experience. I have to, stay mindful. I have to stay awake. I have to stay in that place. And eventually, the glasses will stay on. Who knows when that'll happen? I haven't got to that point yet. But you become a Buddha, and there are plenty of people who became just enlightened as Buddha after it. That was what 2.5 thousand years ago. From now until this time, there are plenty of people in Buddhism and not in Buddhism and other traditions who have experienced what he experienced, and they've walked in it. No, there's no point in going around and like analyzing everybody. Was he really a Buddha? How long was he a Buddha? Like, who cares? Like there's no point in that. When you have your moment of awakening, and when you practice that, and you make that your new habit, that habit, the glasses will stay on longer and longer and longer and longer and longer, and you'll get to a point where, and again, like who knows when? Who cares? Because you're still happy, even though it's not permanently on you. You're walking in it, so you're happy. But you will get to a point where it's the way it always is for you, and you don't even have to try anymore. It's just like, so. I mean, meditation's already pretty easy, but it becomes effortless. It becomes who you are all the time. Okay, but again, who cares about that? Because you can walk in this now. Another way of looking at it that Thich Nhat Hanh talks about is that we all have moments where we're Buddha, and we all have moments where we're not. And so, what can we do today to tap into Buddha nature now? And then we catch ourselves falling out of it. Okay, let's get back into it. So there's different ways of looking about it, but the things that we want to avoid is we want to avoid putting it out there. That's not for me, because it is for you. Before Buddha became Buddha, like we saw his story, he was just like you, 100% just like you. He's not special. I'm not special. No one is special. Okay, that's part of the message, that we're all equal. And so you can have what he had. You can experience the truth. You can find your truth. You can be happy. You can do this. And the cool thing is, when you have these moments, when you realize your Buddha nature, or you realize the truth, you'll look back on your life and go, oh yeah, I kind of felt this way during this time and that time. And oh yeah, whenever I go for a run, it's similar to, you'll start to realize these moments where you've always had it. In the I'll say again, I'm going to say it wrong, but in the Nyingma school of Tibetan Buddhism, they talk about how your Buddha nature, it just feels regular. It doesn't feel special. You don't walk around like, whoa, man, like, oh, you feel totally normal and ordinary. There's a hint of something special about it, a tinge, sure, but what's special about walking in this state is that you're free. There's no triggers. There's no buttons. There's no you really don't care if somebody gets the last the bowl of cereal and you don't. Like, you're just always free. Like, that's what you have. That's the special part. You don't feel like a Superman, but you always feel free. Things don't bother you. You don't care what people think about you. Not in this like rebellious way, but you are content in yourself. You are solid in yourself. You are free in yourself. In the Zen school, we talk about not being ruled by conditions. You can win $1 million and it won't make you happier. You can lose $1 million and it won't make you depressed. You're not, when you walk seen through the eyes of a Buddha, the conditions of life and the situations of life don't matter. Now, again, you still participate in life and live life, enjoy life, celebrate life, definitely. But things come and things go, and you are fully aware of that, and you're okay. When good times come, you live it up. Yeah. When bad times come, you're able to enjoy it somehow and not really take it so hard, because your source of happiness is not found in what you experience. It's found in who you are, the experiencer, which is Buddha nature. You are Buddha. This is why it's called Buddha's story and yours. That's where you start. You start the meditation journey knowing I am Buddha. So let me just practice my Buddha-ness. One of the biggest Zen masters, Dogen, that's his philosophy. He's so strict about that. He says when you sit and meditate in Zazen, you're just being who you are, a Buddha. It's like you're a Buddha in training. You're practicing. You're a little baby Buddha. Your DNA is just as pure as Buddha, but you're just practicing. You're getting used to who you are. You got the training wheels on, but it doesn't make you less of a Buddha. You can have a giant oak tree and a baby oak tree. They're still oak trees. So you are pure right now. You are good right now. Believe it or not, you are happy right now. And if you don't feel it, well, that's okay. Don't be hard on yourself, but have faith in the truth. And then practice the truth and just be, and just, you know what, I don't feel like it, but okay, I'm just going to be. And when emotions come and go, you don't get so stuck into them. So that's my way of explaining how this works for you. It's how it's worked for me. And on one hand, I don't want to come off. I really don't. I don't want to be seen as like, oh, this guy thinks he's had some great experiences. No, I don't think I'm cool, but I don't want to lie to you, because if I haven't had these experiences, why should you listen to me? Don't you want to listen to somebody who knows what the fuck they're talking about? I mean, like, who's been there. But on top of that, I haven't just been there. Again, I'm not teaching my own thing. I've been studying this stuff for 6 years. I'm teaching. This is the method. This is what the Buddhists teach. This is what they've gone through as well. So anyways, all that being said,